Welcome back to Z Coins. Today we're diving into a fascinating corner of coin collecting, the mysterious 1979 D Mint Mark $quarter coin that's recently been making waves in the collecting world with some staggering prices. Imagine finding a coin worth $78,000 lying around in your change. Sounds incredible, right? Well, let's find out exactly why these coins are so special and why collectors are willing to pay top dollar for them. The 1979 D Mint Mark $quarter is part of the Washington Quarter series, which started back in 1932. 1979 was a time when the U.S. Mint was working with huge production runs, so many collectors overlook coins from this era. But as it turns out, there's something truly unique about the 1979 D quarters. The D stands for Denver, where these coins were minted. This was a period of major economic change. Inflation was high, and the cost of producing coins was constantly rising. To keep up with demand, the Denver Mint was churning out millions of quarters. However, even in these large production runs, there can be rarities, coins that somehow escape with unique characteristics or production flaws that make them incredibly valuable. So, what exactly makes a 1979 D Mint Mark quarter worth more than a typical quarter? It usually comes down to a few critical factors: errors, mint state, and specific characteristics like a bold or clear D Mint mark that stands out from the regular production. Some of these error coins or well-preserved specimens have sold for as much as $78,000 in high-grade conditions. In the world of numismatics or coin collecting, even tiny mistakes can make a huge difference. If a 1979 D quarter shows something like doubling on Washington's face or a misprint in the lettering, it becomes an instant collector's item. A high-grade coin, especially one in pristine condition, can easily drive up the price. So let's take a look at how grading works. One of the biggest factors in determining the value of a coin is its grade. Coins are typically graded on the Sheldon scale, which runs from 1 to 70. Coins that are graded above MS65, meaning mint state 65, are extremely valuable because they show no signs of wear. An MS65 or higher is what collectors are searching for. The finer the details, the higher the price. Hashtag most 1979 D quarters you find in circulation would be graded much lower due to wear and tear. But if you happen to come across one that's been preserved carefully or somehow avoided circulation, it could be worth thousands, and potentially much more if rare errors are also present. One MS67 coin with a rare doubling error on the mint mark could indeed reach an astronomical price. Now for the part everyone's interested in: the market value. In recent years, high-grade 1979 D quarters have consistently sold at auction for impressive sums. A coin graded MS67 or higher with rare errors could fetch anywhere from $10,000 to $78,000, depending on its condition and rarity. And even standard 1979 D quarters in MS65 to MS66 have seen strong demand. The market for these rare quarters has grown as more collectors recognize the value of high-grade coins from this era. This has led to a steady increase in auction prices, with top-quality 1979 D quarters showing remarkable appreciation in value. So if you're lucky enough to find one in your collection, it's worth getting it appraised. Wondering where you might find one? While it's not common, sometimes rare coins do turn up in pocket change or old coin rolls, especially if they've been set aside for decades. You can also check with local coin dealers or online marketplaces, but be sure you're buying from a reputable source. And if you're looking to buy, remember to get coins that are certified by reputable grading services like PCGS or NGC. This guarantees that what you're purchasing is authentic and accurately graded. With the right certification, you'll also find it easier to sell if the market price goes up. Scene returns to the narrator at their desk, with a lineup of different coins on display. Who knew that a single quarter could be worth so much? The 1979 D Mint Mark quarter is a reminder of how valuable rare coins can be, even modern ones. If you're a collector or just a casual enthusiast, keep an eye out for these hidden gems. They could be the crown jewel of your collection or a fantastic investment. We're diving into one of the most surprising treasures in modern U.S. coinage, the 1995p Washington quarter. We're going to explore why this quarter, which you might find lying around in loose change, is suddenly making headlines among collectors. So if you've ever wondered if the coins in your pocket might be worth a small fortune, keep watching. First, let's take a closer look at the history of the Washington quarter. Since its introduction in 1932, the Washington quarter has been a staple in American currency. This particular quarter, the 1995p, is often overlooked because it doesn't have any obvious markers of rarity. After all, 1995 wasn't a low mintage year for quarters. But as it turns out, there's a lot more to this coin than meets the eye. Minted at the Philadelphia Mint, the P on the 1995 quarter indicates it was produced there, and initially, no one thought these quarters would ever be particularly valuable. It was just another year of Washington quarters, or so we thought. So why is this coin worth so much? One word: condition. For a 1995p quarter to reach the astounding value of $72,000, it has to be in pristine, top-notch condition. Specifically, collectors are looking for a coin that has received an MS-68 grading from the Professional Coin Grading Service (PCGS) or other respected grading agencies. MS-68 stands for Mint State 68, which indicates an extremely high level of preservation. Coins with this grade show virtually no signs of wear, have sharp details, and display a beautiful, full luster. Out of millions of 1995p quarters, only a handful have been graded MS-68, making them exceptionally rare and sought after. Now, let's talk about the market value. Recent sales of high-grade 1995p quarters have blown everyone away. The current record for one of these coins in MS-68 grade stands at a staggering $72,000. That's right, a coin that could be lying around in your house, worth as much as a luxury car. The key driver of this price? Supply and demand. Since so few of these quarters exist in MS-68 condition, collectors are willing to pay top dollar to add one to their collection. The market for high-grade coins has seen incredible growth in recent years, and the 1995p quarter is now seen as a top-tier collectible in the modern coin market. Now, you might be wondering if you could have one of these valuable coins in your pocket right now. And you just might. Here's what you need to look for. Check that the quarter is from 1995 and has a P Mint mark, indicating it was made in Philadelphia. The real value lies in the coin's condition. An MS-68 quarter is nearly flawless, so you'll need a very sharp eye to determine if it's in perfect shape. Look for strong details, especially on Washington's hair and the eagle on the reverse side. Even if you think your coin looks perfect, it needs to be professionally graded. Most collectors will send their coins to a grading service like PCGS or NGC to receive an official grade. This step is crucial because only a coin with a certified MS-68 grade has the potential to reach that $72,000 mark. The 1995p quarter isn't the only Washington quarter worth big bucks. Other years, like the 1932D and 1932S, are also highly valuable due to their low mintages. And certain era quarters from other years have also fetched high prices due to their unique characteristics. While the 1995p quarter is unique for its value at such a high grade, collectors are always on the lookout for coins that stand out in both quality and rarity. So, to recap, the 1995p quarter can be worth as much as $72,000, but only in the rarest, most pristine condition, with a professional grading of MS-68. If you think you have a high-quality 1995p quarter, it might just be worth sending it off for grading. Just remember, the condition is everything. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just getting started, coins like the 1995 p quarter remind us that valuable treasures can sometimes be hiding in plain sight. Be sure to check your change, take a closer look, and who knows, you might have a small fortune waiting for you. We're diving deep into the story behind these coins, what makes them valuable, and how you can tell if you've got a small fortune in your pocket. Alright, let's start with some quick background. The 1998 p quarter was produced by the Philadelphia Mint, and it has the classic eagle reverse design. This was right before the U.S. Mint launched the popular 50 states quarter program in 1999. Millions of 1998 p quarters were produced, so why are some of these coins fetching such high prices? The reason for the high value comes down to two key factors: rarity and condition. First, not all 1998 p quarters are valuable. Only those in pristine, top-notch condition have that kind of price tag. Grading services like PCGS and NGC rate coins on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect specimen. For 1998 p quarters, coins in the MS68 or MS69 grades are extremely rare. When coins are struck, the dies used by the mint can get worn out or slightly misaligned, which creates minor flaws on the coins. These flaws can lower the grade, making high-quality specimens rare. Think about it. Every time a quarter leaves the mint, it enters circulation, getting scuffed, scratched, and worn down. So, finding a 1998 p quarter in near-perfect condition today is incredibly difficult, which explains the high value. Let's take a look at some actual sales. In recent years, a few examples of 1998 p quarters in MS68 condition have fetched tens of thousands of dollars at auctions. One particular sale saw a 1998 p quarter go for nearly $63,000. That's because the coin was not only in near-perfect condition, but also certified by a top grading company as an MS68. And because so few exist at this grade, collectors are willing to pay a premium to own one. So how can you tell if your 1998 p quarter is one of the valuable ones? First, check the mint mark. It should be a P right next to George Washington's ponytail. Next, look closely at the condition. Are there any scratches, dings, or wear on the coin? If it looks almost brand new, you might have something special. But to really know the grade, you'll need to send it to a professional grading service. If you think you have a high-grade 1998 p quarter, getting it graded is a must. The two most reputable grading services are PCGS and NGC. For a small fee, they will examine your coin and assign a grade. This can be a game changer because, without an official grade, it's much harder to sell your coin for top dollar. Grading can take a few weeks, but it's worth it if you have a rare gem on your hands. Remember, a few other things can affect a coin's value. For example, if a collector is looking to complete a high-grade set of quarters from the 1990s, they might pay more for a top-condition 1998 p. The demand among collectors, rarity in high grades, and even the reputation of the grading company all play a role in determining the coin's final value. Wondering what these coins are selling for today? You can check sites like eBay or Heritage Auctions for recent sales. Look specifically for coins graded MS67 or MS68 by reputable grading companies. Prices will vary, but coins in pristine condition tend to attract serious bids. We're diving into the exciting world of rare quarters that could be worth way more than just 25 cents. If you're into coin collecting, or even if you just love finding hidden treasures, you're in for a treat. We'll look at some rare 2007 p and 1907 quarters, which could sell for thousands of dollars. That's right, coins that might look ordinary could be worth a massive amount if they have certain special characteristics. So let's get started. First, let's talk about the 2007 p quarter. 2007 was an interesting year for quarters because it was part of the state quarters program by the U.S. Mint. Every few months, a new design was released to honor different states, and collectors went wild for these quarters. But what makes some of these 2007 P quarters valuable isn't just the design, it's all about the P Mint mark for the Philadelphia Mint. The Philadelphia Mint released millions of these quarters, but there are certain 2007 P quarters that have errors or are in such pristine condition that they're worth much more than face value. Let's break down the two main factors that make certain 2007 P quarters worth thousands. First up, mint errors. Some 2007 P quarters have what we call error strikes. These could include double die errors, off-center strikes, or misaligned dies. Error coins happen when the coin doesn't go through the minting process perfectly, creating a mistake in the final coin. For example, a 2007 P quarter with a double die error may show slight doubling in the lettering or images, which can be spotted under a magnifying glass. Off-center strikes mean that the design on the coin is visibly off-center, which can also boost its value significantly. And for serious collectors, these kinds of mistakes make a coin more desirable. In recent years, 2007 P quarters with prominent errors have sold for anywhere from $500 to $1,000. So if you have one of these, you're holding something special. Another factor that drives up the value of 2007 P quarters is the condition, or grade, of the coin. Coins are graded on a scale of 1 to 70 by services like PCGS and NGC. The higher the number, the better the condition. To fetch big money, a 2007 P quarter would generally need to be in mint state, or MS, which means it shows no signs of wear and looks just like it did when it left the mint.to. Give you an idea of what that means. Coins graded MS65 or higher are especially valuable. An MS67 2007 P quarter could fetch upwards of $1,000 or more, depending on the demand and the specific state quarter design. So if you have a 2007 P quarter that's been well preserved, it's definitely worth looking into getting it graded by a professional service. Now, let's go back a full century to 1907. This year, the U.S. Mint produced quarters with a design known as the Barber quarter, named after the designer, Charles E. Barber. The 1907 quarter is an extremely sought-after coin by collectors, especially if it has a rare mint mark. There were 3 mints producing these quarters in 1907: Philadelphia, no mint mark; Denver, D mint mark; and San Francisco, S mint mark. The real value here lies in the low mintage and the condition of these quarters. If you're lucky enough to find a 1907 Barber quarter with a D or an S mint mark, you could be holding something worth tens of thousands of dollars. Some of these 1907 quarters in pristine condition, known as mint state, have sold at auction for up to $58,000. That's mainly due to the rarity of high-grade Barber quarters from this period. So how can you tell if you have one of these valuable quarters? Here are a few tips. Look for the date and mint mark. Always check the date first, and then see if there's a mint mark. For the 2007 quarter, the P is what you want. For the 1907, check for an S or D mint mark, which is on the reverse side under the eagle's tail feathers. Use a magnifying glass or loupe to check for any unusual characteristics, especially on the 2007 P quarters. Things like doubled letters or images, off-center strikes, or other abnormalities could mean you have an error coin. Consider professional grading. If you find a 2007 P or 1907 quarter in exceptionally good condition or with a potential error, it may be worth sending it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC. Professional grading gives collectors confidence, and that can boost your coin's value even further. So what's the current market value for these coins? As of 2024, the 1907 Barber quarter in high mint state condition can easily go for $58,000 or more at auction, especially with the coveted S or D mint marks. For the 2007 P quarter, values are a bit lower but still impressive. Error coins can sell for several hundred to a few $1,000s depending on the rarity of the error, and mint state 2007 P quarters have sold for $500 to $1,000 depending on the grade. So there you have it. That pocket change might just be worth more than you ever thought. Whether it's the 2007 P quarter with errors or a rare 1907 Barber quarter, these coins can bring in big money if you know what to look for. So go on, check your change jars, ask your friends and family, and you just might uncover a small fortune. We're diving into a super interesting topic about a coin that might just be hiding in your pocket change. We're talking about the rare 2010 P quarter dollar coins that could be worth as much as $46,000 on the collector's market today. That's right. What started as just a standard quarter in your pocket has skyrocketed in value for specific, rare versions of this coin. So grab a seat, hit that like button, and let's find out how you might have a treasure in your change jar. Alright, let's talk a little background first. So, in 2010, the United States Mint released quarters with the P Mint mark, which stands for the Philadelphia Mint. This was a part of the America the Beautiful series, which honored different national parks and sites across the United States. Each quarter in this series features a unique design on the reverse side, dedicated to one specific national park or historic site. The designs for the 2010 coins feature Hot Springs, Yellowstone, Yosemite, Grand Canyon, and Mount Hood. Now, while millions of these quarters were made, only a tiny fraction of them have something special that has caught the attention of collectors. So what makes these 2010 P quarters worth big money? Let's break it down. In the world of coin collecting, value usually comes down to three main factors: rarity, condition, and errors. When it comes to the 2010 P quarters, collectors have found specific error varieties and incredibly high-grade versions that are bringing in thousands of dollars at auction. First, let's talk about error coins. When coins are minted, sometimes the machinery can create accidental imperfections or anomalies. These are known as minting errors, and collectors love them. Some 2010 P quarters have been found with striking errors or die cracks that make them one of a kind, and therefore much more valuable. Error coins can vary widely in value depending on the type and visibility of the error. For example, double die errors, misstruck coins, and off-center strikes are all things to look for. Now, another big factor is the condition or grade of the coin. The grading system ranges from poor all the way up to perfect, with MS60, mint state 60, to MS70 being the highest range for uncirculated coins. Some 2010 P quarters have been found in MS68 and MS69 grades, and even one coin is rumored to be in MS70. The highest grade 2010 P quarters are rare, and as a result, they have fetched extremely high prices at auction. Now, this is where things get interesting. One of these 2010 P quarters sold at auction for an eye-watering $46,000. That's right, this little 25-cent coin pulled in tens of thousands of dollars. This particular quarter was graded at an MS69, meaning it was nearly perfect. Because these high grades are rare in circulated coins, collectors are willing to pay top dollar to get them. So, if you think you might have a near-perfect 2010 P quarter, you could be sitting on a small fortune. Okay, so now you're probably wondering, how can I tell if I have one of these valuable 2010 P quarters? Here are a few tips. Check the mint mark. Look for the P mint mark under "In God We Trust" on the obverse, head side. This tells you it was made in Philadelphia. Look closely for errors. Use a magnifying glass to inspect both sides of the coin carefully. Look for any signs of doubling, die cracks, or off-center strikes, as these can add significant value. Evaluate the condition. If you have a quarter that looks almost new or has minimal scratches, it could be worth having it professionally graded. High-grade coins, especially MS-68 and above, are what collectors are after. Consider professional grading. If you think your coin is high grade, it might be worth sending it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. They can certify the coin's condition and provide a grade, which can dramatically increase its resale value if it's in the top tiers. Now, let's talk about current market trends. Right now, the 2010p quarters in MS-67 and MS-68 condition are bringing in hundreds or even thousands of dollars. However, coins that score MS-69 or have unique errors can fetch tens of thousands, as we saw with that $46,000 sale. So, if you have a 2010p quarter in high-grade condition, you're sitting on something that could be highly valuable in today's market. So, could you have a rare 2010p quarter worth big money? Absolutely. It might seem like just a regular coin, but collectors are willing to pay top dollar for the right pieces. My advice? Check your spare change. Ask family and friends if they have any 2010 quarters, and if you find a 2010p that looks pristine or has unique features, consider getting it graded. We're diving into one of the most intriguing modern-day treasures out there, the 2014 P Mint Mark $quarter coin. Now, you might be wondering, can a regular-looking coin really be worth big money? Well, the answer is yes. Some of these quarters are currently valued at an astonishing $35,000. So grab your change jars, and let's get into what makes these 2014 quarters so valuable, and what you should look for. The 2014 P $quarter coin is part of the America the Beautiful series, which highlights national parks and historic sites across the United States. But what makes this specific year and mint mark so special? Well, it all comes down to a few important factors like mintage errors, low population and high grades, and of course, the elusive P Mint mark on Philadelphia minted quarters. Let's break down what makes these coins so unique. First, let's talk about the design. Each quarter in the America the Beautiful series represents a different state, territory, or national site. In 2014, the series featured Great Smoky Mountains, Shenandoah, Arches, Great Sand Dunes, and Everglades designs. If you're lucky enough to find one of these with a rare error, it could mean big bucks. The Philadelphia Mint, designated by the P Mint mark, produced millions of these quarters in 2014, but not all of them were minted perfectly. For collectors, it's these minor imperfections, or error coins, that can make a simple quarter worth thousands of dollars. A rare, well-preserved 2014 P quarter with an error can command a massive price at auction. In fact, some of these coins in high grades have been known to fetch prices in the tens of thousands. But here's the thing, it's not just any 2014 P quarter that's worth this much. The ones that have commanded the most value are in pristine, near-perfect condition, often graded by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC with grades of MS-67 or higher. That's what collectors and investors are looking for. So what kinds of errors should you be looking for? There are a few main types that have shown up on the 2014 P quarters, including double die errors, off-center strikes, and die breaks or cuts. Let's go through each one. The double die error is when the coin design appears double due to a mistake in the minting process. If you see any letters or features that look slightly doubled, like on Washington's face or on the inscriptions, you might be holding onto something worth thousands. Hashtag an off-center strike is another type of error that collectors go crazy for. This happens when the coin isn't properly aligned in the minting press, causing part of the design to be missing or misaligned. The more severe the misalignment, the more valuable the coin tends to be. Die breaks, also known as cuds, occur when part of the die used to strike the coin breaks, leaving a raised bump or blob on the coin's surface. These are unique errors and can significantly increase the coin's value. Finding one of these errors on a 2014 P quarter is like hitting a small jackpot. If you come across any of these, it's worth getting the coin appraised or professionally graded. Alright, so we've talked about errors, but what about condition? This is crucial to getting the highest possible price. Coins that have been perfectly preserved and handled carefully are graded higher by services like PCGS or NGC. Typically, coins graded MS67, MS68, or even the rare MS69 are the ones that attract the top prices. For example, an MS67 graded 2014 P quarter could fetch a few $1,000s, but an MS68 or higher could go for tens of thousands. The current market value for top-graded coins has been noted around $35,000, which is pretty mind-blowing for a quarter, right? The coin market is constantly changing, and values for these rare coins have been on the rise. Over the past few years, as more collectors seek out high-grade coins from the America the Beautiful series, the demand has driven prices up even further. However, not all quarters will reach that $35,000 mark. Coins with certain errors in top condition are the ones likely to get that price tag. So, if you're thinking of selling or investing in one of these coins, make sure to stay updated on market trends. High-grade and error coins are becoming more desirable, especially as collectors look to complete their America the Beautiful series collections. Now, you might be asking, how do I check my change to see if I have a rare 2014 P quarter? Start by looking at the mint mark, which you can find on the obverse or front of the coin near Washington's bust. If you see a P, you're on the right track. Then, examine the details closely, especially for any errors. A magnifying glass can help here, or even better, a jeweler's loupe. We're diving deep into the world of modern coin collecting to discuss an incredibly valuable piece of American currency, the 2017 D Mint Mark quarter. Yes, you heard that right. A 2017 quarter with a little D marking could be worth up to $25,000. So stick around to learn why this coin is so valuable, what makes it special, and how you might even have one of these rare treasures in your change. Let's get started. Before we dive into the specifics, let's take a step back and talk about the 2017 quarters as a whole. In 2017, the United States Mint continued the America the Beautiful Quarters series, which started in 2010. This program was designed to highlight national parks, historic sites, and landmarks from each state, territory, and even D.C. So, the 2017 quarters featured places like Effigy Mounds in Iowa and the George Rogers Clark National Historical Park in Indiana. But what's unique here is the mint mark. The D on the quarter represents the Denver Mint, where this particular coin was produced. Now, the Denver Mint made millions of quarters, but there's something about the 2017 D that makes it stand out. Let's explore why. So why on earth would a 2017 D quarter be worth thousands of dollars? Well, a few factors can influence a coin's value: condition, rarity, and demand. First, let's talk condition. Coin collectors and appraisers typically rate a coin's condition on a scale called the Sheldon scale, which ranges from 1 to 70. A coin rated at MS65 or higher is considered to be in mint state, meaning it's pretty much flawless, like it just came off the production line. For the 2017 D quarter, coins in top-notch condition can fetch significantly higher prices because pristine examples are harder to come by. Even though millions of quarters were minted in Denver in 2017, some coins came out with unique or interesting defects, known as mint errors. These errors can be anything from a double die to a misaligned strike, and collectors love them. These mint errors are often very rare, and some of them can push the value of these quarters up to the thousands. So if you have a 2017 D quarter with one of these rare errors, it could be worth a lot of money. The third factor is demand. In recent years, the coin collecting world has seen a surge in interest, especially for quarters from the America the Beautiful series. Because of this demand, even relatively modern coins can become surprisingly valuable, especially when they're rare or in top condition. Collectors are actively searching for these coins, and with demand comes a boost in price. Just to give you an idea, the most valuable 2017 D quarters often come from those limited runs or errors, and collectors are paying up to $25,000 for the rarest and best conditioned examples. So how can you identify if your 2017 D quarter is a rare and valuable one? Let's break it down. First, make sure it has the D mint mark located on the front side of the coin, just to the right of George Washington's portrait. The D stands for Denver Mint, as we mentioned, which is a good start. Next, carefully inspect the coin for any errors. Some common valuable errors include double die obverse, where parts of the design look duplicated or shadowed. You might also find off-center strikes, which look like the image or rim isn't perfectly aligned. Any of these errors can increase your coin's value substantially. Finally, assess the condition. Coins that have been in circulation will often have scratches or wear, which reduce their value. But if you find a 2017 D quarter in pristine condition, maybe even straight from a mint roll or uncirculated set, you're on the right track for a valuable find. So what's the actual market value? As of now, some top-quality 2017 D quarters in MS65 to MS70 condition have sold for thousands of dollars. Coins with rare mint errors and in the best conditions have reached prices as high as $25,000. That said, typical prices can range from a few dollars for circulated coins up to hundreds or thousands depending on the condition and rarity of the mint error. Remember, though, that these high prices are mainly for coins that are certified and graded by professional agencies like PCGS or NGC. Getting your coin graded can give you a better idea of its worth, and it's something to consider if you believe your coin is special. So what should you do if you have a 2017 D quarter and think it might be valuable? First, give it a good look. Use a magnifying glass if you can to spot any errors or special details that might make it stand out. If it looks flawless or you find an error, it might be worth getting it graded by a professional service. Yes, there's a cost, but it can be worth it for a high-value coin. Lastly, check recent prices on auction sites like eBay or Heritage Auctions. These sites can give you an idea of what collectors are currently willing to pay. Narration/host on camera. And there you have it, folks. The 2017 D Mint Mark quarter could be worth more than you ever imagined, especially if you find one in perfect condition or with a rare mint error. So next time you're checking your change, keep an eye out for this modern treasure. Thanks for tuning in, and if you learned something new today, give us and subscribe for more coin collecting tips and secrets. Until next time, happy hunting!